First thing I want to talk about is what's four videos of police brutality that, well, you know what? Instead of me describing it, it's probably best that I just go ahead and share it. So let's play the first video. This first video is out of Georgia. Let's take a look at it. And you can barely hear in the background, but if you're listening via the radio, you see the officer. It's just a 10-second video. And in context, for those who are listening on the radio audience, the officer pulls the gentleman out. He has his hands up. And even in the midst of his hands being up, the officer hits him in the face. Now, there's a second video to this that shows what happens afterwards. Immediately after this, the officer subdues him. He puts him in handcuffs, has him face down on the ground. And a second officer comes onto the scene and he does this. Let's watch the second video. You see he's handcuffed. The officer stepped back, stepped away, and he's radioing something. Here comes another officer and stomps the man's head in the ground. You know, what's sad about it is that we can actually do an episode of This Week in Police Violence, because this is just two videos of the same incident. There's an investigation underway in Georgia over the officer in this case. But now here's another video of a man jaywalking. This is from Sacramento, California. Let's take a look at this incident. And you see the gentleman, he's trying to walk across the street, starts to have a conversation with the police officer, and you could tell the conversation starts to get escalated or heated, but then the officer does this.
Everybody, this is right here in the Del Paso Heights. Nephew, just listen.
I want to move.
No, you got to stay right here. You can't. Hey, why you doing him like that? Wait, Alexis. Hey, Alexis, why?
I'm going right here, Naomi. Get out.
Oh my God.
You can't be handcuffing me like that.
Hey, why
And you can see the police
beating him
officer
like
is
that?
still stomping him.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Now,
Oh my God. He beat him like that.
yeah.
Oh Jesus.
So,
I've seen this.
yeah, that's
Lord.
good. I've seen enough. So with this video, I was a little hesitant about this video until I read the story. The reason I was hesitant about this video is because the man in the video, the black man in the video, takes off his jacket and has a very strong stance against this police officer. And to me, that, you know, if you know you're dealing with a lion or a tiger, not to describe them in a positive way in this case, right? If you're dealing with someone who is hostile, the last thing that you want to do is square up with them. But this is what the guy does. But as I read the story, obviously everything that happens after that is completely beyond the pale. They charged him with resisting arrest. Those charges have been dropped. There's been a criminal investigation into the police officer involved in this. And this is all happening just this week alone. And what's crazy is in video one, you have a man with his hands up getting assaulted by the police officer. Video two, the gentleman's hands weren't up. He did have a strong stance against the officer, but he gets assaulted. And it's like, you know, your hands up or not having your hands up, you get assaulted. Here's a third video. All of this happened just this week. Let's take a look at it. This guy is cooperating, and here comes the officer, kicks him, stomps him in the head. This is a second example of a police officer who detained the suspect, has handcuffs on him, and a second officer comes into the scene and literally kicks the man in the head. If you saw pictures of this last video of the guy's mugshot, you'll see his nose is busted, his mouth is busted. This one actually took place in Columbus, Ohio, and the officer's name is Zachary Rosen. He is under investigation in this. He's been placed on leave, and if you recognize the name Zachary Rosen, this officer just got off of a grand jury investigation. They decided not to press charges in last year's shooting death of another black man, Henry Green. So here's the officer who just, by the skin of his teeth, didn't get charged with murder or manslaughter in another case, comes into the scene where the black man is already under arrest, face down on the ground, handcuffed, and kicks him in the head without any reason, just comes straight onto the scene and kicks him in the head. This is just this week in police brutality. I haven't done many of these videos in a long while because we've been covering the election, we've been covering Donald Trump, we've been covering Syria, but this many incidents jumping out and slapping you in the face in just 1 week, it just goes to show you that to say we have more work to do is an understatement. Right, that's the understatement of the century. But to say that we have concerns here domestically that we absolutely must address with people living in fear of police officers who will come on the scene unprovoked, unnecessarily so, assault a person who is in handcuffs. In these cases, all of them have been placed under investigation or they have been placed on leave, but we've seen this time and time again. The question is, will they be charged and will it actually go to trial? If it goes to trial, as in the case in North Carolina with Walter Scott, will they be able to get a conviction? We still haven't seen that happen in quite some time.